It's so good to see you. I have something so exciting to share with you. We're Canadians and we lost our doctor. He went back to South Africa and we have been searching and trying to find a doctor and using online doctors. But you know what? We have now found a doctor and we would love to share that with you. Hi, it's so good to see you. We are LA and Dean, exploring grandparents.
So we have found what we think is a solution to our doctor problem anyway, and we wanted to share it because I think maybe others could do a similar thing for doctors overseas if they're not aware.
Absolutely, and people in Canada, the States, and
UK.
the UK, Australia, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're excited to share it. So when we went to see a doctor here, we really didn't know what to expect. We asked around, and we found a doctor here right near the complex we're living in. And how did we find that doctor?
Oh, we actually were just walking around and there was a doctor's office right there, and we walked in and said, can we make an appointment? And they said, when would you like it? Would you like to come in today?
Yeah. And so how does it work here?
Yeah, so you can just walk in, or you can go to the hospital, even just walk in. It's a little more complicated at the hospital because you have to check in that. But where we are, we can just walk in and I can get an appointment that day if it's available. Like they said, when I walked in, I would like to see a doctor, and they said, how about?
Which was like, this was not our experience, because in Canada it's like, make the appointment and maybe in 3 weeks.
Or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 2 months.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if you actually have a doctor to be able to make an appointment.
That's right. That's right. And if it's an emergency, go to a walk-in clinic or the emergency center at the hospital.
Absolutely.
So we were excited to get in.
Yep.
And, what about the cost of the doctor?
Well,
Expensive?
inexpensive. Yes, it was very inexpensive.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Doctor's visit was about 25 Canadian dollars.
And that included because they give it to you right then and there. You wait and they label it. It's got your name on it, just like you get in Canada.
Yeah.
But the doctor's dispensing it right then and there, and the drugs are so cheap, and they're drugs you get in Canada.
Yeah. And the other thing we worried about was the quality of the doctor. And when we asked, most of the doctors here have been trained in the UK.
Yeah, and our doctor spoke perfect English.
Yeah, so there's no problem with communication and understanding.
And the other thing that we did was I got blood work done, and the doctor did it right in his office. I didn't go anywhere else. He took the vials out, he labeled them, and then the very next day he emailed me the results.
Yeah, good turnaround. And
yeah, it was just amazing.
And for some of those routine tests, like sort of your blood lipid tests or HbA1c, there's another way to get those done here in Malaysia.
Well, do I have a surprise for you? We found out you can go to the pharmacist. Pharmacies in a drugstore in Malaysia, and you just go in and you ask for the test, and the tests that they're going to do are going to be, which tests are they again?
Your blood lipid tests for cholesterol, right? Like your LDL, your HDL, your triglycerides, and you can also get your HbA1c done for...
Which in English, that is to see if you have diabetes or how close you are to having diabetes. So that was actually 2 tests. And in Canada, they take the blood out of take vials of blood. But here they just pricked my finger, and it's a machine they have right in the pharmacy, and it takes 6 minutes, and then it prints out a result, and you get that right there, and it costs 27 ringgit. It was actually 56 ringgit because the cholesterol lipid test was one test, and then the diabetic test was the other test.
Yes. And, the pharmacist did point out that it was a screening test more than a diagnostic test. So if anything showed up like out of range, then you'd go see your doctor and they just do the test again, right? Just to double check it. But we found that the numbers were very close to our historical numbers that we got back in Canada. So I felt confident.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so, it's just so easy and straightforward here to get it done. Like, it's not a hassle. It's not trying to get into the doctor, then going to the doctor, getting your tests, which is not bad, and then going to another spot to get all your tests done in Canada. This was just so quick and simple.
It was.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about our doctor experience and how to get some blood work done. But one of the things we didn't talk about is our experience with dentists.
That's right. In Canada, it takes me 6 to 8 months to actually get an appointment to get my teeth cleaned, never mind have an appointment with a dentist. And we like to travel, so it doesn't work. But so far, I've gone to a dentist to cleaning in Thailand and in Malaysia.
Yeah. And, my experience was they were great. Very clean equipment, modern, very accommodating.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I don't like going to the dentist. Oh, that's true. I have a fear of it, a bit of a fear. And they were so trauma-informed with me. They were gentle. And when I asked them about it, and they spoke English actually, so it was really easy to communicate with them.
One of the things I did notice about our cleaning experience is it was a little more expensive here in Malaysia than in Thailand.
Absolutely. It was about less than $30 Canadian to get the same hour to an hour and a half cleaning done and checkup in Thailand, and it was probably maybe closer to $50 Canadian in Malaysia.
Still very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive for what they did.
Yeah. And of course, we got in right away.
Oh, that's the other thing. We literally walked up and we were able to make an appointment for the very next day.
And in Canada, what was your experience?
Oh yeah, 6 to 8 months it would take me to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you need, when you're traveling, check out going to dentist or a doctor or a pharmacist in a foreign country. Check out what they have.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're happy to share our experience with Thailand and Malaysia, but if you're going to a different country, just check them out ahead of time. I'm very confident that there's lots of options for those, who can travel like us to get high quality health care.
Exactly. Yes, I'm getting it.
Let's wait till they're done. We'll do it again.
It's okay. Hey, it's okay. Hey.
Well, we've talked about our doctor experience over here, and we've also talked about the lab work and getting some blood work done. So one of the things we haven't talked about yet is, so we've talked about our doctor experience, and we've also talked about our lab work and that experience. And it was pretty good, but one of the things we haven't talked about is our experience with dentists.
Absolutely. In Canada, it can take me 6 to 8 months to get an appointment to get my teeth cleaned. Never mind actually see the dentist for a checkup. But since we've been traveling, I've gone to a dentist and got my teeth cleaned and seen the dentist in Thailand and in Malaysia.
Okay.